Hi guys, in this video for today, which is Monday the 27th, we are going to practice doing a few compositions, okay? So you're going to practice these skills with the substitute today, Henry. So first of all, I'd like you to take out a sheet of paper if you haven't already done so, and you'll need a pencil as well. And I'd like you to write two functions at the top of your paper to start off with. The two functions are f of x is equal to 2x plus 4, and g of x is equal to 8x minus 2. Okay? Once you have those written down, here's what you're going to do. You are going to find f of g of x, which could also be written as f of g. Okay? So you're going to find those, and you're going to find it in terms of x. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the substitute pause the video now, and you guys are going to calculate that. Alright, now that we're back, let's calculate f of g of x. Well, if you can recall from the video, essentially what we're doing when we're calculating f of g of x is we're taking all of g of x and we're going to plug it in. You take all of this, and this is basically going to go in place of the x in the f of x equation. Okay? So let's do that. So basically this whole thing, g of x, becomes the x in the f of x. So how would I write that? Well, I would start with the 2 from the f of x equation. Okay? And instead of writing x, I'm going to write g of x, which is 8x minus 2. All of that plus 4, because there's a 4 at the end. So this is what you should have written down. 2 times 8x minus 2, which is g of x, plus 4. Now, can we simplify this? Yeah, we can apply the distributive property. Okay, 2 times 8x is 16x. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4, plus 4 at the end. And of course, we can take this one step further. I don't even really need to do much because I know a negative 4 plus positive 4, those two are going to cancel out, and I'm left with just 16x. So that's my solution. Okay? We're going to do another one with these two functions just to make sure we really have our skills down for this. So let's go with g of f of x now. So in other words, g of f. So you're using the same two functions. Now you're going to calculate g of f of x, or g of f. That should be a open circle. Okay? And I can tell you right now that you're not going to get the same solution as you did in the previous exercise. Okay? So try this one, g of f of x, and I'll have the substitute pause the video now. Okay, so we're back. So this time, instead of taking all of g of x and plugging it in to the f of x equation, we're going the opposite direction. We're going to take all of f of x and we are going to put it in place of the x in the g of x equation. So this is g of f of x. So I'm going to start off with 8, because that's what we start off with in the g of x equation, times x, but what is x in this case? Well, it's all of f of x, so that's 2x plus 4. Close parentheses, because I want to multiply it by the whole thing. This is essentially all of my x, and then I can't forget the minus 2 at the end. Can I clean this up a little bit? Yes, I can. Once again, applying the distributive property. So 8 times 2x is 16x. 8 times 4 is positive 32, minus 2, and of course I can take this one step further. These are like terms at the end, so 32 minus 2 is 30. So my answer is 16x. x plus 30. Okay? And notice this is a different solution than f of g of x, which was just 16x. Okay? So we got different things. We're going to do a couple more exercises, and then we're going to turn you guys loose on the homework. So now you're going to work with two different functions. So I'd like you to write these down. And the two functions are h of x is equal to x squared plus 2, and j of x is equal to 5x. Okay, so these are your two functions that you're working with. Okay, and I would like you to calculate, do something slightly different, h of j of -1. Okay, or another way to write that is h of j -1. So what you're calculating is this: h of j of -1, or h of j and then parentheses -1. I think it could be written either way. So I'm not, once again, have the substitute pause it right now, and why don't you guys try working through that. Okay, so there's different ways to do this. The first thing I would consider is h of j of -1. I would consider, what is j of -1, like in terms of a numerical solution. Let's start with the inside, okay? Well, what that is if I plug in a -1 for x in the j of x equation, I get 5 times -1, which is what? -5, okay? So we know that this, j of -1, is equal to -5. So I'm just going to replace this part of the expression right here with -5. So it would be h of -5. Okay? H of -5. Well, what does this mean? This means I'm going to plug in -5 in for x in the h of x equation. So h of -5, well, that's equal to -5 squared plus 2. Okay? Notice I put parentheses around the -5 just to indicate that we're squaring a negative number. Okay? And remember, calculators are stupid. If you put this into your calculator without including the parentheses, you'll get something a little bit wrong. What happens when I square a negative? Well, that's negative times negative, which is positive. So -5 squared is positive 25, plus 2 is positive 27. Okay, that should have been your answer. So now we're going to do one more, and then set you loose on the homework. So now let's do j of h of, let's say, 0. I'd like you to figure this one out. Should be pretty easy. Okay. Once again, the substitute is going to pause while you guys work through this. Okay. J of h of 0. So what does this mean? Well, if we start from the middle, okay, if we start from this input, we know that h of 0 is nothing more than a 0 plugged in for x in the h of x equation. So what is h of 0? Well, pretty easy. We plug in the 0 for x, and we get 0 squared plus 2. 0 squared is just 0, plus 2 is 2. So h of 0 is 2. Now what we can do is we can substitute that 2 in for h of 0. So we get j of 2, which is what? Well, it's 2 substituted into the x in the j of x equation. 5 times 2 is 10. So this is equal to 5 times 2, which is 10. Okay. All right. You guys have a wonderful day. Your homework for this evening is to go back to that arithmetic of equations assignment that we got in class last week, and you are now going to go back and do all those composition problems that now you should have a much better idea you should have a much better idea about those. So we'll see you in class on Wednesday. Yep, happy Monday. Bye.